guys! Oh my god, YouTube broke on me just as I'm about to go live. We'll get to that. Anyway, welcome to Social Strategy Simplified with Sue, where we break down the social media strategies of leading professionals who are doing amazing work in getting extraordinary reach and ROI on their content creation efforts while actually doing a lot less than you might think. So even if you are not in the industry of the person being discussed in a given week, that is okay. Please stick around because these strategies and best practices are universal and can be applied to your business no matter what, I promise. So if you're here with me live, give me a hashtag live. If you're here on the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And please head on over to socialmediavault.com, where I've got an amazing site set up where you can access all past episodes and other secret social media tips, tricks, and hacks to give you some guidance on your social media journey. So today we are on day 4 of breaking down Bola Shokunbi, who is an incredible financial education expert and has done extraordinary things through using what I refer to as the hub and spoke content model. Whether she knows it or not, she's a pro at implementing this. And so what we're going to do, as we typically do, is take just a quick look back, not only in case you've missed it, but just really to each day break down step by step to give you more and more visibility into what it is I'm showing and demonstrating that she has done to help hopefully you implement the same type of frameworks and structures into your business. So first, this is Bola. She's the creator of Clever Girl Finance. So she has an incredible story. Go ahead, head over to her website and read that. Very inspirational about what inspired her to create this business. What we started in our discussion was looking at the combination of her focused hub content, right? And that is, as many have done, her podcast. So she has several episodes here, but what she is doing, as I like to guide people through, is that accomplishing multiple things through one process. And that is that she creates video interviewing a guest for her podcast. And that allows her to tackle a lot of different sites across the digital landscape with one piece of content broken down into different formats. So that video allows her to have a strong presence on YouTube, strong search engine optimization in a field that is highly searched, and then also grabbing that audio file from that production and placing it into podcasts across Spotify, Google, Stitcher, Apple. And here she's done something I haven't seen one of our guests implement yet. It is also on SoundCloud, which is where she embeds from on her website. So then we took a look over on YouTube, and I was going to show her channel again, just that quick demonstration of how her playlist of podcasts maps over to her podcast on her website. But as I thought I was going crazy for a while, and here's a little just side tip, you can check these things. I wasn't going crazy. YouTube is broken. I was trying on my page, a client's page, and then getting ready to talk more about Bola's wonderful strategy, that there are just certain things on YouTube I could not see. So I didn't want to clear my cache before going live. I'm all prepared. I'm like, maybe something's wrong with YouTube. And it is. So here's another side tip that you can look these things up. We always think we're going nuts, but it's usually the social media channel's fault. Anyway, that aside. So she does have a wonderful looking YouTube channel where she's got her trailer video, tips, and other guidance, and then a playlist that ties exactly back to her podcast, which is a great demonstration of this framework. So we went through that and then also noted how she brings that over onto her Instagram account. And the great model of having an interview guest is that not only is she placing her podcasts and videos up on Instagram, but so are each of her guests. So this is a great model to synergize that visibility and get even more reach and engagement and traffic on those links to take you back to that primary hub content, which is her YouTube videos or her podcast back on her website, where you can then also access her free courses or then, of course, work with her directly. So today, I was excited when I got over to Bola's LinkedIn account because in some of the others we've demonstrated they've really mostly focused on the podcast, YouTube, Instagram, and maybe a little bit on Facebook as well, but not really as much on LinkedIn. And that's fine. That's all good, because this is about tackling what you can with the content that you have and making a big impact. And they've all been doing that. But LinkedIn is definitely an extraordinary place for people in, especially those that I've been demonstrating the last few weeks, regulated professional services. So Bola today is a great example of someone who is also bringing that over to LinkedIn. And I noticed an interesting structure that she seems to also have in play on her profile, which probably also helps her to save time and focus in on exactly where pieces of certain content are going that she takes from her website to ensure she's driving traffic back from LinkedIn back to her website. So what I noticed was, go ahead and follow her here. You can see her branding, consistent cross-channel, and small about section, which is just fine, right? She hits those first 3 lines, tells you exactly what she's doing. Largest personal finance platform for women in the United States. Mission driven, as you can see from her story on her website. And then what we notice in her featured section is she's really highlighting here where she's been featured in the media. So a lot of great social proof here. So these aren't her videos or her podcasts that she's got on her featured section, but rather where she's been focused on Forbes, Good Morning America, other media that she has. And that's that focus of her featured section, is that social proof. So that's a great model to follow. You don't have to put everything you do there. Perhaps it's just as she has, her social proof in the featured area. So then if we come down to look at her post, I'm going to hop on over here to save us some time and scrolling, is, as we'd expect, her post here, she's got some blogs, but a week ago here, she has another one of her videos that stems from her podcast. Now, this was something that really ties back to this whole concept of reuse, repurpose. Her podcasts go way back. We can see here, she's got a very long list. She's on number 182. She's done a lot of these, but what's very likely is that probably most, if not all of these podcasts, because of the style that they're done in, and it's really getting stories, personal experiences, and stories of women who have overcome. That can be used on and on and on, and that should be used over and over and over again so that she can reach the people in her audience that need to hear these stories so they too know that they can overcome and get a roadmap for those things. So what I was glad to notice in this, because this is the intention really of this framework, is that this post was done a week ago. We can see this is podcast 152 on building wealth as a single mom. Well, if we take a look back here, she's on 182. So that's 30 podcasts ago. And you know what? That is the idea. Don't stop distributing what you have created in the past if it's still relevant, if it's still meaningful, and it still has a purpose in guiding your audience. And that is exactly the idea of this model. Don't stop sharing, because again, when you reuse, you're not only saving yourself time and giving yourself more repeated traffic back to that very important content you're creating, but you're also continuing to serve your community. People ask me a lot that they feel like, well, if I keep doing this or I keep sharing that, people are going to get tired of it. Keep in mind that the way the algorithms work in social media, if you share something on LinkedIn at one time of day, and then you share it on Facebook another day at a different time of day, and then a month later you share it again on LinkedIn on another day at a different time of day, the likelihood that the same person is seeing the same thing and even recognizing that it's the same thing is very unlikely. What we most get tired of is when we're hit too many times with the same ad from the same person. That's when we see too much. Also, that's selling. This type of content sharing, reuse, and repurpose is serving. It's educating. She is an educator. She is trying to serve women from a mission-based purpose. So, by her sharing 1 week ago, a podcast that she might have done 4 months ago, she's continuing to help the women that resonate with this story. And even if somebody has watched it before and they're on a journey with her, they're probably picking up new pieces and new ideas and new concepts that are just going to help them to reinforce that message as they watch again. So keep that in mind. You're not overdoing it. People need to hear that message. If it's done well and in accordance with your mission and your mission and your message, that's hard to say in a row. In accordance with your mission and your message and timed well and done toward the platform, it's not too much. Don't let that content that you have created go to waste and stay hidden. You want people to be served by it. So I thought that was really cool that I exactly found the specific example for her on LinkedIn. So now I noted how, going back to the features section, where this really is serving as her social proof. Her news feed is really sharing, some of her podcasts and other sort of personalized work and articles. And then if we take a look at her business page on LinkedIn, this one really seems to be focused on the blogs from her website. So she really has a great structure here as well. So from the start, she's got this great hub and spoke framework where she creates the video that turns into the podcast, that turns into additional Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn posts. And then she also has the blog content that helps to drive traffic back to her website as well, that she's really focusing on using on LinkedIn. And again, same kind of concept. From this blog, which is mostly evergreen content on her website, she can schedule this content out, making sure she's got several posts a week, maybe one a week, maybe a couple posts a week that drive traffic specifically back to her website. That gives her a strong mechanism for tracking how well the different areas of LinkedIn are serving her to drive traffic to her blog, to drive traffic back to the podcast and her YouTube channel. So really a wonderful structure she has in place here. And even if you just took a couple of these tips from this structure and the strategy, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with the expectation that you have to create content every single day and keep it fresh, that is not the case. Start with a strong foundation of some very impactful pieces of evergreen content, and then just like she's done here, you can come back, reuse, repurpose, share that content from past. Maybe you update some of the visual media. You can manipulate the content a little bit to make the content fresh and maybe highlight a different point. And your audience will be very happy that you have done that, because you're helping to reinforce your educational message. You're helping to uplift and empower. And in what Bola is doing by continuing to share and reuse, she's really helping and serving her community, as well as empowering the women that she's interviewing on all of her episodes as well. So great model coming from her hub over to LinkedIn and how she's doing that in the different spaces. If you have any questions or would like to see how you might be able to model what she has done here, please drop a note in the comments. I would love to help. And remember to head on over to socialmediavault.com, where you can access all of these past episodes and maybe align your own strategy as we model through somebody else's. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're learning some new tips and tactics. My dog is barking. He knows time is up, and I will see you tomorrow, where we talk about the engagement piece at the end.